welcome back to my channel. First up, we're going to start by cleansing the face with the Garnier Micellar Water. I think it's super important to make sure there's no dirt on the face before you apply your makeup. And then we're going to go in with a mattifying primer. This is the L'Oreal Infallible mattifying base. Jodie gets a little oily, so we thought we would go with a nice matte base. And to color correct, we're going to be using the LA Girl Pro Concealers in the shade orange and also in the shade green. First, we're going to start with the orange shade and place that underneath her eye area just to counteract out the dark circles. It is a little bit tricky to work with this product. You've got to work quick because it can get a little bit hard to blend sometimes. And then we're going to go in with the green concealer and just place the concealer on any red areas on Jodie's face to counteract any of the redness out of her face. And then what I like to do is I like to use my fingers and go in and pat the concealer. I just find that this is the most effective way that works for me and what I do on my clients, but I do obviously make sure that I have clean hands when I do this. I just find that sometimes your fingers can warm the product up more and make it blend out easier. For foundation, we decided to stick with a matte foundation and we chose the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Foundation in the shade Golden Beige. I used a flat top kabuki brush just to apply the foundation to the skin, and as you can see, I'm not actually swiping the foundation around. I'm just placing it on the skin really nicely and pushing it in, and then I go in with my damp beauty blender and just blend out all the foundation and add more foundation until I get the desired coverage that I'm wanting. And today we're going with a full coverage, so I did reapply some more foundation using my beauty blender. For concealer, we decided to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is like my favorite drugstore concealer ever. This is in the shade Light, and I'm just going to place that underneath the eye area. I also place it on the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead, the cupid's bow, the chin, and also at the sides of Jodie's mouth. Now, if you were doing this on a client, obviously you would use like a disposable, or you could put this onto a pan and then use a concealer brush, but this was Jodie's concealer, so that's why I used the applicator on her face. Anyway, I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender and just blend all the concealer out. My favorite tool to blend out concealer is, of course, my beauty blender. I really don't know what I did before the beauty blender. This just makes everything look so flawless. It's easy to blend and the finish is just amazing, and like, I don't know what I did without it. Seriously, if you don't have a beauty blender, you really need one. I think they're about $30 Australian, and I think every makeup artist should have a beauty blender in their kit. To bronze the face, I decided to use the Fit Me concealer again, but this is in the shade Cafe, and I just placed that down the cheekbones, down the temples, underneath Jodie's lips, the jawline, and also the sides of Jodie's nose. And then I go in once again with my beauty blender and just blend everything out. And I like to make sure that there's no harsh lines. So what I do here is I blend all the contour or bronze shade out, and then I get the other side of my beauty blender and then I just blend in the lighter and the darker shades together. And what this is going to do is just create a nice illusion that Jodie's face isn't so flat. This concealer does tend to dry very quickly, so if you do decide to use this to contour or to bronze, I do suggest to use it fairly quickly and blend it out fairly quickly. Now we're going to go in and bake Jodie's under eyes, and I just used the Face of Australia loose translucent powder and just use that on my damp beauty sponge and tap that into the under eye area and also down the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and into the chin. So we're just going to let that powder sit and bake for a little bit. We're going to go in and bronze in the meantime using the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer of all time and it's so cheap. I'm just taking the bronzer down her cheekbones, around the jawline, around the temple, around the forehead, and also I sweep that underneath the neck area just because we want everything to blend nicely. And then using a big fluffy clean makeup brush, we're going to go in and just wipe off that bake. Taking the same NYC powder, can you notice that it hasn't got a lid? I actually dropped it and it broke, which I was devastated, but I'm going to take that on a contour brush. This is a Zoeva one. I will leave the brushes in the description box down below, but I wanted to just add a bit more depth to Jodie's face. Just taking that into the hollows of her cheeks, her jawline, and also her temple and her nose. Then I'm just going to bake underneath Jodie's contour to make it really nice and sharp. I just used the same Face of Australia translucent powder on my beauty blender, and then I'm going to go in with my Mary Lou highlighter. This is like the most amazing highlighter, and it's actually sold in Target, which is a drugstore, so that's why I included this. But yeah, I'm just going to take that onto the tops of her cheekbones, her cupid's bow, on the bridge of her nose, not too much because Jodie has a slim nose already. And then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and wipe off that bake. Then we're going to go in for blush, and I'm going to use the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso and just apply that to Jodie's cheek area, and that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments down below if you like to see this eye makeup look that Jodie is wearing, because I'm sure she would be more than happy to model for me again. Bye!